live on YouTube. Hold on just a sec. And we are live on Instagram. So, to everybody out there, hello, hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is the Pink Elf in the Room conversation. And to you guys out there, what we're going to just simply talk about for today is about retrograde experience. What does retrograde, first of all, even mean? Hold on just a sec. What does retrograde even mean in any sense? The definition of retrograde means direct or to go backwards. And now this could be used, of course, in a sense of meaning energy, which could make us as humans go backwards. Now, what do I mean is that this doesn't mean a Benjamin Button situation where you go backwards in age, but we start acting during, especially this time of year, very, in a sense, very primitive, very degenerated in a sense of who we really are, to the point that we may act in ways that are unnecessary or unneeded on the planet. You have many people who have been harming other people out there. Go ahead and comment on Twitter. Just go, you can go to Twitter or Periscope. I believe on Twitter you can even watch it on there. Um, just go to I am Soulology and you can watch it on there. It won't let you it won't let you type anything on there. If it doesn't let you type anything on there, you might have to okay, then you might want to go and download Periscope, Periscope. Download that and just connect it to your Twitter account. If you can't do that today, you can always do it tomorrow. As you know, we're gonna have another show. Okay, perfect. So we had someone who had a question about watching it on Periscope just now. Uh, okay, perfect. Go ahead and do that, and you can watch on there. You can leave hearts. You can comment there. And if you know anyone else who wants to watch it, they can watch it as well. Just share it to them too. But what it does in a sense is it degenerates the mind and how you think and the way you think of things, and you see this by the actions that people take and how we act. For example, certain bombings that are going on across the world, certain killings that are going on even around where I am at, where I've seen this happen. And the thing is, we first of all, the reason we don't bat an eye about it is because we've been numbed out from this. You see too much of this all the time, you eventually become numb to the feeling of what's really going on. So when you see too many killings, you become numb to the fact of it, because first of all, at times you may not know what to say. Second of all is the fact that you've seen it too many times. It's the same thing with violence. Violence will not help you gain peace. That's just to put it simply. That does not, I'm not trying to mean it in a sense that you can't get peace, but violence will never help you get to peace. It's that simple. It's like saying if you drink alcohol, many people love to make the statement that drink with consistency and you'll be fine. There is no consistency in drinking alcohol. If you drink alcohol, you will get brain damage. It is that simple. That does not mean that I'm telling you you are right or wrong. That is your choice on whatever you make. It is simply observing the facts as they are. Nothing more, nothing less. The same with the killing. Nothing more, nothing less. You see these things going on. Now, why does retrograde happen? It happens for two reasons. two parts play a key role in this. The alignment of your planets and the energy that is phasing right on this planet on top of that is one of the key roles. The second key role is about every so often, I'd say 4 to 7 years or so, your sun overheats itself, bringing radioactive waves toward the planet. These radioactive waves cause a lot of damage. And there have been studies actually done on this, that there are 7 years where you have a lot of peace going on, and then 7 years that immediately there's a lot of rampant violence. And this has been shown actually very, very easily. When you talk about, let's say maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there was a certain degree of peace. And there was a certain degree, for example, when you talk about America, where you had the soldiers who were trying to be pulled out of Iraq and whatnot. You had that going on. And then you have more violence now than you did then. That doesn't mean there wasn't violence, but it was slowed down to some degree. Now, what does this have to do with experience in any sense? What I would like to entail, in a sense, is explaining my experience and understanding and observing when you see these things. Because you have to realize people are not being themselves, especially right now. So first of all, how would you deal with this with people? First of all, you would desire to observe everything that's going on. Observe everything that is going on. Do not take anything personal. And you might think, but what about this and this and this? Yes, things might be going on, even in your own personal life, that might cause a problem and might frustrate the living crap out of you. But you have to observe things for what they are, because there are things happening to people, not only on this planet, that are causing people to go crazy, but outside the planet that is coming to this planet that is driving you insane. Observation is key. Being slow to anger and very much slow in a sense of observing everything first is what's going to help you at least know how to go about the situation. We in today's society are very much reactive people. We are people who react to everything. And when I say everything, everything. So what do I mean by everything? Example, right? What I mean by everything is simply this. For example, when you have a celebrity who maybe did something that seems to some people as taboo, and we believe that someone else was the cause of that problem, that we feel that they had to do something taboo. You're probably thinking, okay, what do I mean by that? Here's a good example. There was, I believe, a model, and there were two men who were right next to her in a picture, and she was dressed in a certain clothing, and many people were upset at the fact that she dressed in that way, and that it was the fault of the company that she was working with that caused that. However, she was okay with how she was dressed. And on top of that, I believe one of the biggest problems was it was snowing, or it was cold outside, and people were upset that the men did not give her a coat to wear for the picture. Yet that person did not have a problem. Another story, a perfect one, is a woman who was celebrating her prom, and she wore a Chinese dress. Many people had a problem with that. But yet the people of China had no problem with this. But those people who did have a problem made it seem like you don't know what you're talking about. We are very quick to react to things, overreact to things, instead of thinking things through. I admit, even I have my times. This is why I'm being very cautious and careful on how I do things and how I react and how I feel about things, because it's vitally important. There are many people who will do, in a sense, of what you would call horrible things, cruel things, rude things out there, even yourself included, even myself included. And this is why you have to be observant. And not only that, take time to yourself. Seriously, take time to yourself, because if you don't, you're going to be caught in the motions of everything that is going on around you. And being caught in those motions can sometimes be very frustrating, can lead to anger, can lead to being upset, being sad, being depressed, and even taking it even further than those things. Being alone allows you to know yourself a bit better and take a breather from the world itself. Being alone allows you to realize what kinks and chains and gears are working within self. And is everything okay with you? Even if people are doing what they're doing. Because honestly, I could tell you there are some crazy things even now for me that go on. But I'm very observant. I'm very much careful of how I go about it before I even dare go about it, because of the fact that it helps push me into knowing how to counteract that instead of reacting to it, understanding it, and then knowing what to do, taking action upon that instead of immediately reacting, oh, what the heck, man, and doing something that might not be beneficial or might not serve me in any sense. It does not work in a sense. You want to take time to yourself. And whatever, for the people out there, maybe you've made mistakes. Maybe you've made decisions that you feel have caused problems. Forgive yourself. In my own experience, even though it was a tough thing for me, and at times it can be, I have learned how important it is to forgive myself for things that go on in my life. Because I am still growing every day. Every day. Keep growing. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep evolving. Keep loving who you are. Because you are still trying to grow and understand who you are and evolve that piece of who you are to get further in life. Keep going. And be careful, especially at this point in time, where you go, what you do, and everything. And if you do, the last thing I'd like to leave you guys with is, if you ever have a gut feeling about something where you feel you shouldn't be at a place, or you feel like you should be doing something else, go as far away. Follow your instinct, because your instinct is a part of your feelings, and listen to your feelings. Your mind will lie to you. Trust me, it very much will. It makes you think things into existence as emotions, your thoughts masquerading as emotions. But your feelings will never lie to you, because they are you. You don't think it. If you have to think about whatever is emotionally bothering you, or emotionally what you are feeling, it might not be what you think it is. But if you feel it deeply within yourself, take time to trust that feeling, because that is you. Take time to take care of yourself, in conclusion. So, in conclusion, retrograde is simply a direct or backwards change, in a sense. And for humans, this could be degeneration. Due to the energies of what we call, many people might call the Mercury retrograde, or the Venus retrograde, where the energy is connected to you in alignment, as well as with the solar flares that come towards you that can cause problems due to every 4 to 7 years. In order to understand how to get past retrograde, be very observant of everything. Take time to yourself. Be slow to anger. Take time to yourself for the simple fact so you know yourself better and you know how to act in a sense instead of reacting. And if you have your feelings of certain things, go as far away from that person or thing or wherever the place you are at. If you feel a certain way, if you don't, you don't. If you do, follow it, but don't think it. If you're thinking of a feeling, it's your thought masquerading as a feeling. But realize how amazing, how beautiful, how magnificent, how divine you all are as the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within who you are. And to everybody out there, just realize you are the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within. And to have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. To everybody out there, peace and namaste.